Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Bill. I am a prepper and I do live in the Philippines. I have some notes today, so if you see me reading, that's why, because I wanted to make sure I got some of my facts correct. But today, I want to talk about Pakistan, the current turmoil, how they got there, and what the likely outcome, in my personal opinion, is going to be, and how it will affect me here in Southeast Asia. Now, a lot of people in the US and other countries are just not focused or not paying attention to what's going on right now in Pakistan. And I don't blame them. You know, the world crisis and the fatigue and everything that's happening is kind of bizarre. But I've talked about Pakistan a few times in a couple of my other videos, and it's definitely been something I've been watching. Now with the recent, the recent arrest of, if I can say this right, Imran Khan, we're now seeing unprecedented demonstrations in Pakistan against the army. Now, keep in mind, the army was always something somewhat, considered a good thing in Pakistan by the general population. And the army is the ruling class of Pakistan. Let's get that straight as well. So these demonstrations stem from a lot of things, and I'm going to try to touch these guys in particular order here. So the current situation is Pakistan is broke. They've been working with the IMF for quite a while, and I'll talk about those efforts in a second. But they're broke. Their inflation is at 36% and climbing, and that doesn't count energy and food inflation in reality. Pakistan was hit by a huge flooding crisis at the end of last year, and a lot of their food supplies and crops were destroyed due to that. And infrastructure was destroyed, jobs were lost. So the bottom line is the 95% of the poor population, is what it is absolutely being crushed, right? They're having a hard time surviving and just eating daily. So they're already ripe for tensions. Plus, the army itself is dealing with an insurgency of the Taliban in the northern part of the country. So there's a lot going on, and it's been going on for a while. Now, IMF has tried to come in several years ago and came up with the now $7 billion plan to loan money to Pakistan. And of course, with IMF, they have all their demands, right? Raise the taxes, raise the cost of energy, cut benefits, which is all IMF ever seems to do to countries. But if they don't get this in order and get things sorted out soon, there's going to be a big problem, right? They have less than 30 days supply of money. I think it's like 4.6 billion in USD reserves, and that's not a lot of money, trust me. So the IMF is also saying, look, we're holding up your first payment until you can get some insurances from friendly countries that they'll take care of you if you're going to default, which they will probably do anyways. The problem is no one wants to loan them money, right? The Saudis don't. China already has, I think, 36 billion, which is probably 30% of the debt that Pakistan had, is held by China. So it'll be interesting to see what comes about with these assurances, because technically if China assures the IMF that they'll back Pakistan for these loans, then the IMF might release the first truncheon of money, which might stave off some of this immediate needs. The problem is, China plays chess, right? So they've already took on this debt, and as far as China's concerned, it's a lost debt anyways. So if China's going to come in and take more debt and or assure the debt for Pakistan against the IMF loans, they're going to come out with some outrageous things that they want on their end, right? China doesn't do a lot for free, so China's going to put even harder demands on Pakistan, which might not be felt in the immediate future, but will definitely be a global issue coming up later. So, that's what I think is probably going to happen. I think China's going to step in, and I think China's going to give whatever the IMF needs to assure them. The IMF will release the loans. Things will be stable for a very short period of time, but at least stable as they try to address other issues. The problem right now is the ongoing demonstrations, and a lot of it stems from the arrest of Khan. But a lot of it is just also people are hungry, fed up, poor, and they're just sick and tired of the situation they're in. Now, why is this a concern for anybody? Why should someone in America care about what's going on in third world Pakistan? Let me tell you very clear. Pakistan is a nuclear country, and I don't just mean nuclear power as in energy production. They have over 100 nuclear capable missiles. I don't know where they are right now. I'm sure the US government and the CIA is tracking this stuff. I hope so. But with so much turmoil going on in Pakistan, I'm curious, where are their nukes? You know, Pakistan has been trying to distract the populations with, you know, yelling war to India if India doesn't do something, whatever they want. I'm not even paying attention to the details. They're just saber rattling, trying to distract the populace. But they're threatening, you know, total victory with total annihilation, which means we'll use our nukes. And keep in mind, I talked about this recently. Pakistan doesn't have enough gas to mobilize troops, let alone do much of anything. But as an American citizen living in Southeast Asia, I'm extremely curious, where are the nukes? How are they being protected? What happens if the Pakistan army continues to fail? What happens if the IMF doesn't give them money? Are they going to sell these nukes on the open market? I mean, they're a free country, right? Are they going to black market these nukes? Is India going to take a hand in at least protecting the nuclear stockpile that Pakistan has? I don't know. And to be honest with you, this is what concerns me, and this is what should concern everybody else. So what's next? Well, right now, everybody's waiting to see. So there's a couple things in the next few days that are going to be key. Now, the Pakistani army / government has cut off internet in most of the major cities, right? No Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So they're trying to limit the populace from communicating outside of media controlled by the army, which is standard procedure, by the way. Sad, but that's what the reality is. So the curiosity in the next few days is, what's the army going to do? Right now, I think they're in a wait-and-see situation, trying to let the unrest die down. Keep in mind, it's extremely hot in Pakistan right now, and it's hard to riot and have, you know, demonstrations all day out in the heat. Let's be honest. You know, I think the army's just saying, hey, they'll burn out in a couple days, and we'll take some control over it. If that doesn't happen, and the army starts putting a heavier hand down on the demonstrations, I don't know if that's going to produce more issues or if it's going to quell the riot. So this is what I'm watching, right? This is what I'm trying to see what the next 3 to 4 days with the Pakistan army and what the supporters of Khan, the demonstrators, do. And then that's going to greatly swing what's going to happen next week. Now, I got to tell you, it doesn't affect us economically, but it's certainly, with the nukes that are in play, I'm sure countries are looking at these as, you know, something they want. North Korea will probably offer a ton. Russia maybe even offer a ton just to have a false flag nuke that they can launch somewhere that would have the radiation imprinting from Pakistan, so they can have a plausible deniability if a nuke is used. I don't know. China might want them just so they're not used against them, same like India. All I know is this is something the average American has no clue what's going on. It's not in the American media. It's probably not in most Western media, but it is a crisis, an absolute crisis right now. Humanitarian problems aside, with lack of food and electric and all this, I am honestly just concerned about the stability of the army to hold on to their nukes during this crisis. So that's what's to watch for. Do some research. I'm not the only one. There's a lot of good sources out there that tells you day to day, minute by minute, what's going on in Pakistan. And as an American in Southeast Asia, or as an American in the world, anybody should be paying close attention to this particular conflict and this crisis that's going on right now in Pakistan. If you have any comments, please drop them down below. Let me know if this is the kind of content you want. I'm going to produce it regardless. I'll tell you, it's my channel, and this is stuff that's relevant to anybody living in Southeast Asia, which is where I call my home. If you like this, hit the like button. If you have any questions regarding anything I said, let me know. I'll try to link things for you. But this is a situation you need to be made aware of. And if you're not paying attention, you need to. Until next time, stay safe.